right from the beginning, we knew we wanted an intercessory team, and we've been so grateful that several thousand people have signed up to be intercessors and that have been already praying for this revival. And we think that's one of the reasons for the great spiritual fruitfulness that we've seen so far. And I just want to give you a brief history of the revival, the briefest of history. Of course, you can always find out more information, as you all know, because you signed up on our website, eucharisticrevival.org. There's always more information there. But just to remember how this all came about, it was really the inspiration of the bishops who, in November of 2019, began to experience the pain of what happened in the Pew study when it was revealed that so many Catholics didn't believe in the Eucharist. And, some have questioned the validity of that study, but it certainly regardless, it showed that there was a problem, that, perhaps as high as 60%, maybe even 70% of Catholics didn't have a full understanding of Jesus's love in the Eucharist. And if that's true, then we really failed in our work as a church to show that the Eucharist is the source and summit of our life. And that really motivated some bishops. It was Bishop Barron at that time, who was the chair of the Committee on Evangelization and Catechesis, and he put together a proposal for a 3-year renewal in the Eucharist. And I had just been elected chair-elect, and so I was a part of some meetings in January and February of 2020, where we kind of looked at a plan that would maybe involve different levels of the church in the whole country for Eucharistic renewal. And a lot of bishops were really supportive of that, and we planned to bring it to the bishops in June of 2020, but then in March of 2020, the world changed, and COVID shut the world down. And by the time the bishops were able to meet, it was November of 2020, and we needed this revival then even more. And the bishops really saw that we were already thinking about this as a providential reality, God preparing us for what COVID would, and the effect that it would have on the church. And so I was given marching orders then as the chair of the Committee on Evangelization and Catechesis to begin to build this revival. Spent the spring of 2021 really talking to leaders all over the country about what we might do. And it was really then when we experienced the great enthusiasm and fire of evangelistic leaders and parish leaders and diocesan leaders around the country that we began to realize maybe God's doing something big through this revival, and bigger than we had originally thought. And so gradually I began to bring this plan to the bishops, both in June of 2021 and then November of 2021. And I always say, the moment I knew the Holy Spirit was really in this was in November of 2021, when we were proposing really the whole plan, and the summit of that plan would be the National Eucharistic Congress, which was a big thing for the bishops to try to grasp, and the fact that we were inviting them to think of an 80 to 100,000 person event in Indianapolis in July of 2024. And I had my own doubts about how the bishops would vote on this, because they had to vote to say we wanted to do this. But when the vote in the end was taken, and it was 201 to 12, over 90% of the bishops voted for this, I knew the Holy Spirit wanted this revival. The bishops were really, and still are, extremely supportive of this revival. And so again, I knew the Holy Spirit was doing something.